right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, peace and safety to the Akim out there pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. All right, quick lesson. Kind of various topics, man, but just mainly dealing with this these false prophets. All right, and a lot of people, they watch these other camps, mainly the purple guys, because they got the numbers, but they don't got the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, they don't really have the spirit of prophecy, man. But a lot of people, watch their videos, because they got the numbers. It looks good. It looks like it's a prosperous organization, for lack of better terms, but they're not teaching the proper doctrine. All right. Now a lot of people, they watch Great Millstone, they watch the apostles, and they watch elders, and it's really just for entertainment purposes. A lot of people, they enjoy the back and forth, and brothers do it here at Great Millstone for edification's sake and for the defense of the gospel, because that's what we're supposed to do. But these other groups, they'll try to what they call themselves bodying, GMS for the sake of keeping up a lie, all right, or for the sake of views, all right. They'll name drop probably, for views, all right. But at the end of the day, they're not teaching the truth about the Bible, man. All right, these guys are hirelings, okay. There's no, I don't see any. Well, there may very well be some sincere, within, these other groups, but for the most part, man, these guys that deal with the IUIC and the ISUPK and all these other Israelite camps, that's not teaching the proper doctrine. It's just for numbers' sake. We know the Lord ain't dealing with the Lord ain't dealing with the numbers, man. The Lord is dealing with sincerity. All right. But I was just meditating about Ezekiel 33. Salakia, by the way. Just got off the plantation. All right, but I was just meditating about Ezekiel 33, man, because a major prophecy that a lot of these groups don't teach is the MOTB, which we know as the micro C-hip. All right, that little implantable device the size of a grain, that's going to hold all your information. All right, and Esau has been working on this thing for years, and the apostles and the elders have been speaking it, breaking it down, Revelation 13 verses 16 and 17, for 30 plus years. I can't say 30 plus years because I didn't, but since I've been in the truth, since I've heard the truth around 2013, 2014, all right, and it's never changed, all right, but they're gonna know that a prophet had been among them, all right, very, very soon, man. All right, when this devil makes this thing mandatory and you have no choice but to take it, all right, you're gonna know who was right. And a lot of, Apostle Tahar has been saying it, man. He's been saying it a lot. He spoke on it in one of his videos last night. The spirit has been on brothers to Salakia. The spirit has been on brothers to keep going into what the mark of the beast is, man. All right, it is a physical thing that if you don't have it, you won't be able to buy, you won't be able to sell, You won't be able to pay your bills. You know, you won't be able to survive unless you have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and you're one of his sincere men. All right, one of the elect. All right. Then you go into that word mark. It's charagma in the Greek, which means basically an incision or a cut. All right. And when you go into the root word of charagma, which is the karax, all right, which the charagma is the actual CHIP, Salaki, the cut, all right. The root word of charagma is karax in the Greek, which basically means like a palisade or a needle. All right, that's going to be used to insert the CHIP. And then when you go into the root word of karax or stake or palisade, the root word of karax is grapho, all right, which deals with information or letters or words, basically information. All right, and that's what the RFID micro C-HIP is about. All right, it's a physical thing that's going to be presented to the people. All right, and you know, like the apostle said, man, this thing could be months away. You know, and we have a duty to tell the people, man, get this blood off our hands. All right, our job is to prophesy to our people, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, our job is to prophesy to the nations and let them know that they're going into slavery and destruction is at hand. All right, but part of prophesying to the nations and to our people is telling them what the mark of the beast is. All right, and it's very clear because Sam's Club, you know, they basically they're doing the IBM thing. All right, I remember that was one of the first things I saw concerning the mark when I first heard about Truth. You know, there was a commercial dealing with IBM. All right, basically what the guy did in the commercial is he walked in and he started grabbing things off the shelf. All right, he started grabbing, you know, bread, eggs, milk. All right, he started grabbing these things, you know, putting them in his coat pocket. All right, now I may do a follow-up video and you know, do a commentary on it, you know, but he was walking through the grocery store and he was grabbing this, grabbing that, putting it in his pocket, and they were making it like as if he was stealing. All right, and you know, he you know, walked past the register. All right, walked out the front door. The security stopped him. All right, and he said he forgot something, and he handed him a receipt, and he just walked out, and that was the end of the commercial. All right, now if the Lord is working with you, if the Spirit is on you, you can see what it is, you know. But majority of our people, they can't see what that is, man. It's a foreign thing to them, you know. But that's why the Lord set up prophets, all right, to reveal these things and you know, to show what it is. You know, that's the job of a prophet. All right, like I said, this whole night, you know, it had me thinking about Ezekiel 33, and I'll start at verse 30. It says, and I'll read it in the NLT as well. It says, also, thou son of man, the children of thy people are still talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak to one another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh from the Lord. You know, a lot of our people, man, they got mouth game, man. They like to, you know, talk. You know, they like the mouth game. Salakia. You know, they just a lot of talkers, man. You know. All right, and they gossiping back and forth between, look at these Israelites going back and forth with this, look at this Sakari thing, look at this IUIC, and look at Great Millstone. You know, they used to call it camp banging when I first came into the camp. They used to say we always camp banging. Well, no, we're just defending the gospel, man. All right, but you people that, you know, want to hearken unto the earthly glory, the glorious apparel, and the fancy talk, and like the apostles say, the gimmicks. What's the word? The super florist, you know. I don't remember how to say it, but super fluidity or something along those lines. Super florist. All right, basically gimmicks. All right, that's what a lot of Israelites are into, man. All right, verse 31 says, verse 30 in the NLT says, "Son of man, your people talk about you in their houses and whisper about you at the doors. They say to each other, 'Come on, let's hear the prophet tell us what the Lord is saying.'" And they don't want to hear it because they believe it. It's just entertainment for these people, man. But all the fun and games is gonna come to an end soon, man. All right, when this chip is made mandatory and you people got to line the fuck up to get it, you gonna know. All right, but it's gonna be too fucking late because you didn't want to hearken unto the message. And to you other Israelite camps that's out here teaching that bullshit, man, the Lord is gonna fucking destroy you people, man. You don't see the rate of people dying, the rate of judgment and destruction. All right, you know, that's why, hey, I thank the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, he got me away from those other Israelites camps that I was watching when I first heard about the truth, man, because there was nothing left in them. You know, they teach the law, but you don't hear no prophecies from these niggas, man. All right, Ezekiel 33 verse 1, "And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people." And they putting on a show. All right, you put on a front. All right. Now I know, you know, the elders here in Atlanta. You know, when I remember when I first came down to the camp, there was a couple of guys that, you know, they would come around. You know, they would come around, listen. You know, but I remember it was one guy in particular, Skinny Jake. When we had moved from our spot downtown, we moved to the CNN location, you know, and I was watching the video of I forgot what I was watching. I think I was watching one of them camps that decided to speak at our old location, and I saw the guy that used to come out and watch brothers here in Atlanta, you know, the Great Millstone camp. I pointed it out, man. I was like, yeah, these, that's an example right there. You know, just for something to do on a Saturday, they want to come listen to the Israelites and then go home and talk shit about us, man. Hey, the Lord is going to start pointing you niggas out, man. All that fake shit, and especially, you know, man, the Lord is going to, all fun and games is about to be over with, man. All right. And also too, man, you other Israelite camps that, you know, man, this isn't a club, man. I don't know if they told y'all up there in the purple place, but this ain't no club, man. All right, this ain't no club, man. This isn't just a Saturday thing, man. All right, Ezekiel 33 and verse 31, it says, "And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love." Yeah, you know, people ride past the camp, honk the horn, and then go eat pork. All right, you got a nigga that'll come out and listen for a minute, you know, and then go back home and start smoking. All right, or go commit adultery with another man's wife. All right. It says, "For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness." All right, Ezekiel 33 and verse 31 in the NLT. It says, "So my people come pretending to be sincere and sit before you. They listen to your words, but they have no intention of doing what you say. Their mouths are full of lustful works, and their hearts seek only after money." All right. Ezekiel 33 verse 32, "And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words but do them not." All All right, in the NLT it says, you are very entertaining to them, like someone who sings love songs with a beautiful voice or plays fine music on an instrument. They hear what you say, but they don't act on it. All right, and that's our fucking people to a T, man. All right, that's why we are the people of the Bible, man. We are the Lord's chosen people, because the Lord is always describing our hard-headed people, man. But the time is coming to an end with all these games, man. All right, these other Israelite camps are being exposed. The Lord is exposing all these other camps, man. All right, the prophets of Great Millstone, the prophets of doom. All right, we have the truth, man. You know, we ain't getting paid for this on this side. Our reward is in the kingdom when Yahweh Shai comes back, man. Those riches are more are true riches. All right, Ezekiel 33 and 33. And here comes the point. And when this cometh to pass, all right, the prophecies of the MOTB, of what it really is, all right, which the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone have been pushing for years, which is the micro CHIP, okay, an implantable device that's going to be put in your forehead or in your right hand or wherever implanted in your body, somewhere, all right, which I broke down the 3 words, you know, the charagma, the Greek word for mark is charagma, and I went through the root words. All right, these things are coming to pass, man, and it's gonna be too late for some of y'all. All right, it says, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. All right, so you're gonna know, and the Lord is making it known who he's been dealing with. All right, so with that, you know, just a quick lesson, you know, a little in transit. With that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to the Akim out there pushing the word in truth and sincerity. And I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.